Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today we're gonna be making pink gin. Now, some of you probably have been to the liquor store and you've seen a bottle of gin that is pink. I've got one right here. So technically this is a pink gin, but this is not what we're making today. Today we are going to make pink gin the cocktail, which actually predates cocktails. And it's probably the easiest cocktail you'll ever learn how to make. It also has no added sugar. So if you're trying to watch your sugar intake, this could be a good one for you. But you gotta like gin, so let's get to it. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make pink gin to the bar. It's just you, me, some bottles of booze, and a sense of adventure. So let's talk about the history of pink gin. The most commonly accepted story is that it dates back to the early to mid 1800s. Long time ago. Back then, the British Royal Navy was using bitters as a stomach tonic for seasickness, diarrhea, constipation, indigestion, all that stuff. That's what Angostura Bitters was intended to do. They didn't have Pepto-Bismol, which is also pink. Very interesting. Back to the bitters. The sailors wanted to make it a bit more palatable, so they would put their bitters in with their daily ration of gin. The bitters turned the gin pink. There we have pink gin. That's a great story. Probably true. I think everybody pretty much agrees that that's kind of what happened. However, David Wondrich, drink historian, I don't need to tell you who he is. David Wondrich thinks that it dates back even further than that, to the 1700s. Now, Angostura Bitters came to the market in the 1820s, so clearly Angostura Bitters wasn't part of the original concoction, if this is true. In fact, David Wondrich believes there was another bitters called Stoughton Bitters. But by the mid-1800s, Stoughton Bitters was gone, and Angostura Bitters became the standard. Actually, the standard was this. By the late 1800s, it was Plymouth Gin, because that was the gin of the British Royal Navy, and Angostura Bitters, and it was called pink gin. Who knows where this began? Back, if David Wondrich is correct and they were using Stoughton Bitters, I don't even know if they were calling it pink gin at the time. That brings us up to date. It wasn't so hard, was it? Well, it doesn't really bring us up to date because now you see bottles of pink gin on the shelves. And that really has nothing to do with what we're about to make. Those are flavored gins. Some of them are sweetened. They can be infused with everything from pink peppercorns to strawberries to give you a nice pink gin. Nothing wrong with that, but it isn't what we're making here today. Okay? So, with that, the booze. To make this cocktail, we'll need gin, bitters, and a lemon. Gin is obviously the base. I'm using Plymouth Gin because it is the standard, and personally, it's my favorite gin for this drink. It is its own style of gin. In terms of sweetness, it kind of falls between a London Dry, which is really dry, and an Old Tom Gin, which is a little bit sweeter. There is also something called a Navy Strength Gin if you are wanting to be a stickler, because that's probably the gin that they were using back then. But Navy Strength Gin is really strong, and this is primarily just gin. So I don't need it to be that strong. As for the bitters, I'm using Angostura, and personally, I don't think that there's really any substitute here. I know some bartenders that will use Peychaud's bitters. That's a New Orleans aromatic bitters, and it is bright red. Definitely makes your cocktail pink, but I like the heavy spice flavor of the Angostura bitters, along with the bright gin, works really well. And the lemon, this is just expressed oil across the top, not part of the original drink, but it helps lighten up the cocktail. So let's build. I do wanna say, originally, it's believed that this drink was made in the glass, built in the glass without ice, because there wasn't ice on the high seas. I actually do like the dilution. I like to mix it all together. I'm also serving it in a small amount. Personally, I just don't want a big mug of gin. So, get your glassware chilled. Let's start with the bitters. 4 full dashes of Angostura Bitters. To that, 2 ounces of gin. Now we can add ice and stir. Usually I say give this a stir about 30 seconds or so to chill and dilute. We definitely want to chill, and we really definitely want to dilute. Of course, it all depends on your ice. I think it's a pretty color, but it's not necessarily pink. It's kind of like a pale orange color. That's probably good. There we go. Strain the cocktail into your chilled glass, and express lemon oil across the top. Hit the sides. If you want, you could garnish with the peel, but I'm gonna leave it off. There it is. As simple as can be. Pink gin. Cheers. Do you want to try this?
Sure. Hello.
Hello.
I'm here to drink gin.
Yeah, pretty much. You've never had this before, have you?
No, never. Oh my God,
Cheers.
it's really full. Cheers. Oh, it's lighter than I imagined.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I actually think it's surprisingly bright and drinkable. The Plymouth Gin has bright botanicals that counter the spiciness from the Angostura Bitters. I think it's really nice. It is thin, it is dry. I wouldn't want a glass any larger than this.
Yeah, but it kind of just goes down easy. I wanted to try this stuff because we were talking about it earlier. Not sponsored. Pink pepper gin. Deeply macerated. Deeply macerated.
This is gonna be stronger,
Well, I'm
not
not
diluted.
gonna pour a whole glass full.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Whoa, spicy.
It's not bad. I kind of like it, but
It
it's
smells
good.
like soap as well, but that's not this gin. That's whenever I smell gin, I immediately think of soap. Nobody's fault. I just think
That's your
gin smells like
association,
soap
yeah.
sometimes.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Don't forget your merch. Sign up for the newsletter. We will see you next time. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Blah, blah, blah.